Hey guys, before starting this video, if you guys are into building cool mobile and web applications, then make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and also press the bell button so that you get notified every time I upload any video. Thank you guys and do enjoy this video. So hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the fourth part of this Flutter video series where we are building a fully featured e-commerce application in Flutter. So guys, in the previous video or in the last part, we built the product section as you guys can see over here, and we also displayed the products in our home page. So these were some dummy products which I have included in my products model. So as you guys can see, I have my products.dart over here, and in this file I have the product and the products model. So if you guys have not watched the last video or the previous parts, make sure you do check it out so that it would be easier for you to follow this video. So guys, in this video we will be building the detail page for each and every single product. So as soon as we hit or click a particular product, we get redirected to its detail page, which will indeed display the price and also the description of our product. So guys, with this, let's get started. So guys, since we will be needing to create a new screen for our detail page, what I'm going to do is I'm going back inside my screens folder, which is inside the lib folder, and inside my screens folder I'm going to create a new file and I'll just call it as product detail underscore screen. Okay, so now in my product detail screen.dart, first of all I am going to import the Flutter material package. Just paste it here, and then I'm going to create a stateless widget and let's call it detail page. Okay, now this detail page is going to return a first of all, so if we look at the sample, you guys can see that we have an app bar, then we have the title of the product, and we have the image and also the price and the description, and also we'll be adding a button to which will take care of whether we want to add the product to our cart or not. So yeah, so that is what we'll be implementing. So let me just keep it inside, and this is going to return a scaffold because we will be having an app bar. And yes, so since we need to provide the title to our app bar, and also we need to provide the image, the price and the description, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to let this widget take some parameters. So the first one would be a final string, the title parameter, and then we are going to have the price parameter hopefully, and then the description, which will be another string, and also we are going to have the image, so it will be an URL. So I'll just write here image or img in short, and then let us initialize them. So detail page, and I'll be using positional named arguments, not positional. So this dot title, this dot price, and this dot description, and finally this dot image. Okay, so I think we're all set, and then now we can enter the title, the given title of the product, to the title attribute of our app bar. So title, it will be a text widget, and it will be the title. Okay, so let us actually now see whether it is working or not. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going back to my product item widget, which is over here inside the widgets folder which we created in the last video. So right here, as you guys can see, it is returning a padding directly. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wrap it with another widget, and I'll call it as gesture detector. So when we include this okay, let me just correct the spelling, and inside this gesture detector we get an option of either we want to double tap, and we get many gesture options. So I'll just use the on tap attribute. So on tap, and now I want it to be redirected to that detail page. So what I'm going to do, just going to use navigator.push. So navigator dot of context dot push, and it is going to take a material route. So I'm going to enter a material route, page route, and okay, so this builder is going to take context. So all right, so context, and the context is going to add the root, which will be our product detail page. So detail page over here, and this detail page will take the parameters. So let us give the first parameter, that is the title. So title, and the title is going to be the name. Okay, let's save it and let's see if it is working or not. So I'll just reload this app. Alright, so now as you guys can see, we are getting the title and the bar in our detail page. So yes, so we are getting specific titles and specific details uh, according to our different products, specific products. So yes, so it is working. And now let us make this detail page look a bit nice so that we can add some information over here. So yes, let's do it. So guys, back in my detail screen.dart file, one thing you guys might have noticed that here I have 4 parameters, that is the title, the price, the description, and also the image. But if we go to our product item.dart page or file, you guys can see that we only have the 2 parameters, that is the name and the image URL. And that is pretty understandable, because in our product item we only need this image and the name of the product. So it would not be efficient to use the other parameters like the description and the price in our product item widget. And if we do not use that parameters, then we will not be able to pass it down to our gesture detector inside the detail page. So as you guys can see, we need to pass the price, the description to our detail page, but we will not be able to pass it down to a detail page because we actually don't have them here. So it is not possible to pass it down like this. Hence we need to use the provider over here over our detail screen.dart page in our detail screen.dart page. So to use a provider in the detail screen.dart page, we need to make or we need to add a method to our products class, so that we would be able to make sure that every detail page belongs to that particular product ID. So yes, so back in our inside our models folder, we'll go back to our products.dart file, and in my products.dart file where I have the model, I'm going to add a method inside the products class. So after this list where we get the items, I'll just include another method, and the method would be about we want to get the IDs of the product. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a method and I'll just call it as a product, and let's call it find by ID. Okay, so it is going to take a string as parameters, and that string will be the ID. So it will be a string, and string will be an ID, and it is going to actually return a list of items, that is a list of items belonging to that particular ID. So first where, and this will take an arrow function, and in the arrow function let's pass the product. So product, and we need to make sure that the ID which we have included in the parameters matches with that particular product ID. So product.id is equals to the ID. So yes, so that's it. So after that, let us save it, and going back to my detail screen.dart file, first of all, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to import the models, that is the products model. So import package products. Okay, so I'll just use the shortcut, that is // models and then products.dart. So now we will not be needing this anymore, because we'll be directly fetching the products from our products class, that is the items. So yeah, so right here, what we need to do first, we need to get the product ID. So the product ID, let's call it product ID. So we are creating this variable which will get the product ID, which will be equal to the model route dot of context. That is, it refers to actually the context of the product that we'll be clicking on, like this one and the other one. So each and every product will be will be in an unique position, so they're going to have unique IDs. So dot settings dot settings dot arguments as string. So since the ID is actually a string, so we are going to provide it as a string. So and then after that, what we can do, we can load the product. So loaded product. So the loaded product will be based on the product with the specific ID, which matches the ID which will be provided to it by this model route dot of context. And that is so we are going to use the provider package over here. So let me import the provider package. So import provider.dart, and over here provider dot of product context, and it will be the products class. So we'll be fetching the method from our products class. So product context, and then dot find, we have created the method. So find by ID, and yes, ID, we're going to pass on the parameters, that is the product ID. Okay, so okay, so we are getting this error, and this one will be products, not product. So yes, so we have the find by ID method over here. And yes, so now as you guys can see, I can use just the loaded product dot title for, or maybe the name. Yes, so dot name. Let's save it and let's see if it works or not. So I'm just going to reload my app, and yes, so it is working. As you guys can see, I'm still getting the title of that specific product. So what this model route dot of context is going to do, it is going to take that specific product on which we click, and since this product is going to have a particular ID, so definitely it is going to have the ID of 2, and that will actually be matching with the ID in our class item. So here I have the second product with the ID of 2. So yeah, so we are the IDs are matching, and hence it is returning the same product with the same title over here. And now I can also use the image. So let us use so actually let us create a body for our detail page or detail screen. So inside my scaffold, I'll just be giving the body attribute. So body, and this will be a column, because we're going to have a column for our the image, the price, the description, and also the add to cart button over here. So yes, we are using the column. And now what we can do is, first of all, we need to get the image. So let us see if we can get the image or not. So image.network, and yes, so it would be loaded products, the products which we loaded to our specific ID. So loaded product, and dot image URL. Okay, let's save it and let's see if we can get the image. Okay, so actually we actually have not provided any children to our column, so inside the children I'm just going to paste it. I'm just going to see if we get it or not. So let me check. I'm getting an error over here. So this title is not defined. Okay, so we don't need to pass parameters to this detailed page widget anymore. So yes, so let's give it. And okay, so let us restart this app. Okay, so guys, we are getting an error over here because as you guys can see, we have used this model dot of context dot settings dot arguments, and we have not passed any arguments yet. So it is basically not being able to find that particular product which will match this ID. So yeah, so what we can do is actually pass a second parameter over here. So I think we can pass it over here, or yes, so let's try passing it over here. So arguments. Okay, so it will not, it is not going to work like this. So what we can do, we can actually change this to hopefully, let's try changing this to push named. So it is going to take named routes. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove this, and we're going to basically convert our navigation back to named routes. And I think it would be quite useful to do it because as soon as we will have the cart page and also the other pages, then we would need a lot of navigation part, and a lot of navigation would be required. So what we can do is we can create separate routes for each and every screen. So yes, so that is what we will be doing. So back in my product detail that file, what I can do is I can create a static constant. So static const, so basically it is never going to change. So it would be the route name. So route name, and just let's call it slash product detail. Okay, and now we can use this route name in place of the navigator.off context dot push. So we can use push name and insert the route name over here, but we are actually going to include the route name in our main.dart file. So what I'm going to do is inside my main.dart file, I'm going to create I think we get an attribute called routes, and this actually takes a map or an object. And now what I can do, I need the product detail. So I'll just include the detail page. So detail page dot route name, the detail page dot route name, which was specified in our detail page widget. As you guys can see, we have this route name over here, and we can just use it, and we are going to map it with the context, and it will take the context, and this context will be specifying the detail page. So detail page, yes. So now we can use this over here in our product item. What we can do is inside this push name, we can provide the root name as the argument. So detail page dot root name, and we will also have to provide the arguments, that is the IDs. So arguments, and it will take the product dot ID. Okay, so yes, so I think we don't have the product specified over here, so let's specify it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a product, a variable called product, which is going to store the information of our products. So provider dot of context. Okay, so we need to import the provider package here in our product item dot dart file. Okay, and then provider dot of context dot. Okay, so we forgot to give the class which is going to specify. So it would be the products class. So products, and also we need to import the products model. So import /models products.art. Okay, that's it. So let's save this one, and also let's save this. Let's restart our app again and let's see if it works. So we're getting some error over here that the ID is not defined for products. So let's see. All right, so yes, so basically our product is just a list of the many product. So what we can do is we can actually use the product, not products. So let's save this one and let's reload the app, and hopefully it will work now. So let's hit this one, and yes, so it's working. And as you guys can see, we also have the image over here. So yes, that was a small mistake in my part. So I have included that model route without passing any arguments to my detail page. So yes, that will definitely not work, and I suggest you guys use this route name option in your app whenever you are building a large app like an e-commerce app or something of very complex project. You must, or you should use this root name option, because it actually is more convenient, and it is also better for more complex apps. And you can pass down many root names over here in the roots attributes. So if you guys if so in the later parts of this video series, we will be also adding the cart screen, and also the my order screen and all. So we can just pass the root names over here. We can pass as many as we want. And yes, so after this, what we need to do, guys, is we actually need to we will actually modify the detail page, because it doesn't look pretty much nice right here. We need to put this image right in the center, and also we need to add description and the add to cart button. So right here we just have tested our approach. So I'm just going to remove this image from here, because I'll be putting it inside some kind of you know maybe inside some kind of padding and a container, hopefully. So yes, so so what I'm going to do, I'm going to uh, specify a container. So container, and inside this container I'll give it a height. So let's give it a height of around 300. And then what I can do, I can also give it a width. So I'll just give it a width of double.infinity. And then I'll give it a child would be a padding widget. Padding would be const edge insets dot all. Let's give it a padding of 10. And yes, then we can specify our image. So I'll give it a child to our padding widget, and then we'll give the image dot network, since we are fetching it from the internet, and it would be loaded product. So loaded product dot image. Well, okay, now let's save it. And as you guys can see, we now have the image in the center, and we also have it little bit smaller so that it fits the screen. And now after this, what we can do, we have to add the price of the product. So I'm just going to add the price. So it would be a text widget. So text, and yeah, so inside my text widget, I'll give the price. So I'll just use string interpolation. So it would be a $sign and some curly brackets, and inside of it I'll just use loaded product dot price. Okay, let's save it. And and as you guys can see, we have the price over here, but it is quite small, so we will actually add some text style to it. So style text, right, text, textile, and inside this textile, let's give it a font size of let's say 40, and actually not 40, let's say around 20, 30, and then we can give font weight. So font weight of around font weight dot bold. Let's save it, and also we can give the $sign over here, so to specify the price. So for it, what I can do is I can actually give another $sign over here, and since these two cannot exist together, I'll just put a black backslash in front of the first one so that we can use it. So as you guys can see, we now have the sign, and yes, let's give it a space. So you have the price, and let's write here actually, so price. Okay, so we have the price, and then we can have the description. And actually, let's not make this price folder because it is looking weird. So yes, so that's fine. And then we can use the description. So for the description, I'm going to be needing another text widget, so text, and inside this text we are going to provide the description. So loaded product dot description. Let's save it, and now we also have the description, but we can wrap it with some padding because it is not looking good. So padding, and let's give it a padding of around 10. Let's save it, and we have the description over here. And yes, so now we need to make the buttons so that we can add it to our cart, or maybe we can use a floating action button over here. So yeah, so let's use a floating action button inside our scaffold. So I'll just give a floating action button. So floating action button, and it will take the floating action button widget, and on press will be set to null because we have not created the cart yet. So you can give it a child, which should be the icon. So icon, and it would be icons dot shopping cart. Okay, let's save it, and let's see what we get. So we get this floating action button over here, and it is a bit smaller, so let's make it a bit larger. So what I can do is, let's see what else option do we get here. So get color, hover and all, but actually let's increase the size of our icon. So size, and yes, so let's set it to 30. Let's save it, and yes, so we now have our detail page over here, and we can actually increase the padding more because it is still not looking that much good. So we can also increase the size of the description text. So yes, we need to provide some style, some text style. So just copy this from here and just paste it here. And yes, so now the font size would be a bit smaller, not that much larger. Okay, so yes, so now it looks a bit more nice, and also let's give it a padding of around 15. All right, so now we have our description page, and as you guys can see, I can view the detail of any products which I have here. So yes, so as you guys can see, I have this pretty looking decent simple description page. And yes guys, and in future we will hopefully be able to add products directly from this description page. And so now that's it for this video guys. I hope you found this helpful, and do like and share this video if you found it helpful. And in the next video, what we are going to do, we are going to build our cart model, and hopefully we are also going to be able to implement our cart, and then we will move on to the backend part of our app, which is the Firebase and also the orders model. So guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this series, and also if you guys are having some difficulties following this video, you guys can just refer to this GitHub repository for this project which I have created, and I am going to update it after each and every video so that you guys can follow it specifically. So this repository contains already all the source code and the files which we have implemented here. So yes, so you guys will be able to follow it from here. And also I'll put the link for this GitHub repository in the description below, so make sure you do check it out. So guys, let us end this video, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next part, and hopefully we can do some more exciting things in the next part. Until then guys, stay tuned and stay safe.